The morning sun filtered through the grand windows of Kensington Palace as Catherine, Princess of Wales, carefully examined the exquisite sapphire and diamond engagement ring that had once belonged to Princess Diana. This wasn't just any piece of jewelry. It was a symbol of love, legacy, and the beginning of her journey into one of the world's most watched royal families. Little did the world know that this stunning ring would be just the first of many incredible gifts that would come to define her royal life. When Prince William proposed to Catherine in 2010 during their romantic getaway in Kenya, he presented her with his late mother's iconic engagement ring. The oval blue sapphire, surrounded by 14 brilliant diamonds and set in white gold, was valued at approximately £300,000. But its emotional worth was immeasurable. Diana had chosen this ring herself from a Garrett catalog in 1981, breaking royal tradition by selecting something that wasn't custom-made. Now, nearly 3 decades later, it would grace the finger of the future Queen of England. The story behind this precious gift reveals William's deep thoughtfulness. He had carried the ring with him for weeks, waiting for the perfect moment. During their stay at a secluded cabin on the slopes of Mount Kenya, surrounded by breathtaking wilderness, he finally found his courage. Catherine later revealed that she was completely surprised, having no idea that William had been planning this moment for months. The ring represented not just his love for her, but also his desire to honor his mother's memory and include Diana's spirit in their future together. But the engagement ring was only the beginning of Catherine's collection of remarkable gifts. On their wedding day, April 29, 2011, Queen Elizabeth II bestowed upon the new Duchess of Cambridge a truly extraordinary present, the Cartier Halo Tiara. This magnificent piece, created in 1936, featured 739 brilliant cut diamonds and 149 baguette diamonds, all set in platinum. The tiara had been purchased by King George VI for his wife, the Queen Mother, and later given to Princess Elizabeth on her 18th birthday. The selection of this particular tiara for Catherine's wedding day was highly significant. Royal protocol dictated that only married women could wear tiaras, making this gift a symbolic welcome into the royal family. The Cartier Halo Tiara complemented Catherine's flowing Alexander McQueen wedding gown perfectly, creating an image that would be remembered forever. The tiara's value was estimated at over £1 million, but its historical importance to the royal family made it truly priceless. Queen Elizabeth's choice to lend Catherine this particular tiara sent a clear message to the world about her acceptance and approval of William's bride. The gesture demonstrated the Queen's confidence in Catherine's ability to represent the monarchy with grace and dignity. For Catherine, wearing the tiara was both an honor and a responsibility, knowing she was carrying on a tradition that stretched back generations. As the newlyweds settled into married life, more extraordinary gifts began to arrive. One of the most talked-about presents came from an unexpected source. The Queen's private secretary had arranged for Catherine to receive a complete set of priceless Spode china. This wasn't ordinary dinnerware, but rather a collection that had been specially commissioned for the royal household decades earlier. Each piece featured intricate hand-painted details and gold leaf accents, with the complete set valued at over £50,000. The china collection represented more than just beautiful tableware. It symbolized Catherine's new role as a hostess for important royal functions and state dinners. The gift came with detailed instructions about proper usage and care, as each piece held historical significance. Catherine later confessed to friends that she initially felt intimidated by the responsibility of using such precious items, but eventually came to appreciate the craftsmanship and history behind each plate and teacup. Prince Philip, known for his practical nature, surprised everyone by giving Catherine a rather unusual but deeply meaningful gift, a first-edition copy of a rare book about the history of British horses. This might have seemed like an odd choice to outsiders, but Philip had carefully observed Catherine's genuine love for horses and riding. The book, valued at £15,000, contained detailed illustrations and historical accounts dating back to the 16th century. Catherine treasured this gift not for its monetary value, but because it showed that Prince Philip had taken the time to understand her interests. She spent countless hours studying the book, and it deepened her appreciation for equestrian traditions within the royal family. Years later, this knowledge would prove invaluable when she began participating in royal events involving horses and when she started teaching her own children to ride. The Duke of Cambridge himself proved to be quite generous with his gift-giving. For Catherine's first birthday as a married woman, William arranged for her to receive a custom-designed jewelry box crafted by one of London's most prestigious artisans. The box, made from rare English oak and lined with silk, featured intricate carvings that told the story of their courtship through symbolic images. The oak tree where they first met at university, the mountains of Kenya where he proposed, and the chapel where they married. This deeply personal gift cost William approximately £25,000, but its true value lay in the thought and planning he put into every detail. The jewelry box contained hidden compartments designed specifically to hold Catherine's growing collection of royal jewelry. Each compartment was perfectly sized for different types of pieces: rings, necklaces, earrings, and bracelets. William had worked with the craftsmen for months, ensuring every element reflected their shared memories and experiences. The international community also showed their appreciation for the new royal couple through remarkable gifts. The President of France presented Catherine with a stunning silk scarf designed exclusively for her by Hermès. The scarf featured a custom pattern depicting British and French symbols intertwined, representing the friendship between the two nations. Valued at £3,000, this one-of-a-kind piece became one of Catherine's favorite accessories for diplomatic events. But perhaps the most surprising gift came from an entirely unexpected source: a group of British fashion designers who collaborated to create a wardrobe collection specifically for Catherine. Led by Sarah Burton from Alexander McQueen, the team included representatives from Burberry, Stella McCartney, and several emerging British designers. Together, they created 25 exclusive pieces valued at over £100,000, ranging from elegant evening gowns to casual daywear. This collaborative gift represented the fashion industry's recognition of Catherine's potential influence on British style and culture. Each piece was designed to be worn for different types of royal engagements, from garden parties to state visits. The designers understood that Catherine's clothing choices would be scrutinized by media worldwide, and they wanted to ensure she had options that reflected both her personal style and her role as a future queen. The generosity extended beyond material gifts to experiences that money couldn't buy. Sir Elton John, a close friend of Princess Diana, arranged for Catherine to receive private access to his extensive art collection for educational purposes. This gift allowed her to study works by some of history's greatest artists in an intimate setting, accompanied by expert guides who shared insights about technique, history, and cultural significance. Catherine spent several afternoons at Sir Elton's estate, learning about pieces by Picasso, Warhol, and contemporary British artists. This experience sparked a lifelong passion for art that would later influence her patronage choices and charitable work. Sir Elton's gesture was his way of honoring Diana's memory while welcoming Catherine into the extended family of people who cared about the royal family's future. As Catherine's first year as a royal family member drew to a close, she reflected on the incredible generosity she had experienced. Each gift, whether monetary or experiential, represented someone's faith in her ability to serve the crown with dignity and grace. From priceless tiaras to thoughtful books, from custom jewelry boxes to exclusive fashion collections, these presents told the story of a young woman being embraced by history's most famous family and prepared for a lifetime of service to others. The second chapter of Catherine's extraordinary gift collection began with the arrival of Prince George in 2013. Suddenly, presents poured in from around the world, but some stood out as particularly magnificent. The Sultan of Brunei, known for his incredible wealth, sent Catherine a diamond bracelet that left even experienced royal watchers speechless. The bracelet featured 50 perfectly matched diamonds, each weighing over 2 carats, arranged in an intricate flower pattern that sparkled like captured starlight. What made this gift truly special wasn't just its estimated value of £2 million, but the story behind its creation. The Sultan had commissioned the bracelet specifically to celebrate Prince George's birth, working with master craftsmen in Belgium for over 8 months. Each diamond was individually selected and cut to achieve perfect symmetry and brilliance. The bracelet came with a handwritten note explaining that each flower represented a prayer for the young prince's happiness and prosperity. Catherine wore this stunning piece for the first time during a state banquet honoring visiting Middle Eastern dignitaries. Photographers noticed how the diamonds caught the light from the palace chandeliers, creating an almost magical effect around her wrist. The bracelet became a symbol of international goodwill and the global excitement surrounding the birth of the future king. But Perhaps even more impressive was the gift that arrived from an unlikely source: Dame Judi Dench, the beloved British actress. Dame Judi had commissioned a one-of-a-kind music box from Switzerland's most famous clockmaker. The music box, crafted from rare burr walnut and inlaid with mother-of-pearl, played a gentle lullaby while tiny figurines of the royal family danced inside a miniature palace. The music box had taken skilled artisans 18 months to complete, with every detail meticulously crafted by hand. The figurines, carved from ivory alternatives and painted with remarkable precision, included representations of William, Catherine, and baby George. When wound up, the box played Brahms' lullaby while the figures moved in a graceful waltz around a tiny throne room complete with microscopic furniture. Dame Judi's gift, valued at £85,000, came with a touching letter explaining that she wanted to give George something that would remind him of the joy and wonder of childhood as he grew up surrounded by royal duties. Catherine was moved to tears when she first saw the intricate creation, understanding that it represented not just artistic skill, but genuine affection for her family. The technological world also wanted to honor the growing royal family. Steve Jobs' widow, Laureen Powell Jobs, personally delivered a custom-designed iPad created exclusively for Catherine. This wasn't an ordinary tablet. It had been crafted with a solid gold back featuring an engraved family tree showing William and Catherine's lineage stretching back centuries. The iPad came preloaded with educational apps about British history, art galleries from around the world, and interactive programs designed to help young children learn about their heritage. Apple's design team had worked for months to create custom software that would allow George to explore his royal ancestry through games and interactive stories as he grew older. Most remarkably, the iPad featured a secure video calling system that would allow Catherine to stay in touch with family members around the world without concerns about privacy or security. The device was encrypted with technology far beyond what was available to the general public, ensuring that family conversations would remain completely private. The value of this technological masterpiece exceeded £150,000, but its real worth lay in its practical applications for a modern royal family trying to balance tradition with contemporary life. Catherine quickly discovered how useful the device was for organizing her schedule, reviewing briefing materials for royal engagements, and staying connected with charitable organizations she supported. When Princess Charlotte was born in 2015, the gift-giving reached new heights of extravagance. The King of Saudi Arabia presented Catherine with a necklace that defied imagination, a strand of perfectly matched pink pearls, each one larger than a grape, with a centerpiece featuring a heart-shaped pink diamond surrounded by smaller white diamonds. This necklace represented months of searching by the king's personal jewelry advisors, who had scoured the world's finest pearl farms to find specimens worthy of a future queen. The pink pearls, naturally colored without any treatment, were extremely rare. The centerpiece diamond alone was valued at over £800,000, while the complete necklace was appraised at £3.5 million. The necklace came in a custom case made from Lebanese cedar and lined with pink silk. Along with the jewelry, the king sent a handwritten note in Arabic and English, explaining that pink pearls symbolized love and protection, which he wished for Catherine and her daughter throughout their lives. Catherine first wore this incredible necklace during a state visit to the Middle East, where it was photographed against the backdrop of ancient palaces and modern architecture. The contrast between the timeless beauty of the pearls and the contemporary setting created images that were shared around the world, showcasing both Catherine's elegance and the international respect for the British royal family. The creative community continued to show their appreciation through unique artistic gifts. Renowned sculptor Anish Kapoor created a special piece for Catherine, a small but perfectly formed sculpture made from polished steel that reflected light in mesmerizing patterns. The sculpture, titled Royal Reflection, was designed to sit in the nursery and create ever-changing patterns of light and shadow that would entertain young children while serving as a sophisticated work of art. Kapoor spent months perfecting the sculpture's curves and surfaces to ensure that it would be safe around children while maintaining its artistic integrity. The piece was valued at £200,000, but Kapoor refused any payment, explaining that he wanted to contribute something beautiful to the lives of the future generation of royals. The sculpture became a conversation piece in the royal nursery, with visitors often commenting on how the changing light throughout the day created different moods and atmospheres in the room. Catherine appreciated not just the artistic value but also the practical thoughtfulness of creating something that would grow with her children's understanding and appreciation of art. International luxury brands also competed to create memorable gifts. Rolls-Royce presented Catherine with a custom-designed baby carriage that combined traditional craftsmanship with modern safety features. The carriage, hand-built by master craftsmen in England, featured leather upholstery hand-stitched with gold thread, solid silver fittings, and wheels designed for the smoothest possible ride. The baby carriage took 8 months to complete, with every component created specifically for this one piece. The leather came from Scottish cattle raised on organic farms, the silver was mined in Wales, and even the wood came from sustainably managed British forests. The entire carriage was a celebration of British craftsmanship and natural resources. What made this gift particularly special was its dual purpose. While it functioned as a practical baby carriage for royal outings, it was also designed to become a family heirloom that could be displayed in royal residences for generations. The carriage was valued at £180,000, but its significance as a symbol of British manufacturing excellence made it truly priceless. The fashion world's most exclusive designers continued to create special pieces for Catherine's growing wardrobe. Valentino designed a series of evening gowns specifically for her role as a mother attending formal royal functions. Each gown was created with hidden features that allowed for quick adjustments and easy movement while maintaining elegant silhouettes. These gowns, crafted from the finest silk and adorned with hand-sewn beadwork, represented hundreds of hours of skilled labor by master seamstresses. The collection of 5 gowns was valued at over £300,000, with each piece designed for specific types of royal events: state dinners, charity galas, diplomatic receptions, cultural celebrations, and private royal gatherings. What impressed Catherine most about these gowns was how Valentino had considered the practical challenges of royal life while maintaining the highest standards of couture design. Each dress could be worn for hours of standing and greeting guests without compromising comfort or appearance, a crucial consideration for someone whose public appearances were carefully documented by photographers worldwide. The technology sector continued to innovate in their gifts to the royal family. A consortium of British tech companies collaborated to create a smart home system for Kensington Palace that was years ahead of anything available commercially. This system could control lighting, temperature, security, and entertainment throughout the residence while maintaining the historical integrity of the building's appearance. The system was designed to be completely invisible, with sensors and controls hidden within the palace's existing architectural features. Voice commands could adjust any aspect of the environment, while smartphone apps allowed Catherine to manage her home's systems from anywhere in the world. Most importantly, the system included advanced security features that could detect and prevent any unauthorized access or surveillance attempts. The entire installation, valued at over £500,000, represented the latest in home automation technology adapted specifically for royal security requirements. As Catherine's public role expanded, so did the thoughtfulness of gifts aimed at supporting her charitable work. A group of philanthropists established an endowment fund in her name, generating annual income of £100,000 specifically for her to distribute to causes she personally selected. This gift recognized that Catherine's influence could be multiplied through strategic charitable giving. The fund came with complete freedom for Catherine to choose recipients, whether large established charities or small grassroots organizations that might otherwise struggle for recognition. Over the years, this gift would prove to be one of the most impactful, allowing Catherine to support innovative programs addressing mental health, early childhood development, and various social issues close to her heart. The third wave of magnificent gifts to Catherine came as her influence in the royal family grew stronger and her role as a mother expanded with the birth of Prince Louis in 2018. The international community recognized her growing importance, and their presence reflected this elevated status with unprecedented generosity and creativity. One of the most breathtaking gifts arrived from an unexpected source. The government of Japan presented Catherine with a complete set of ceremonial kimonos created by living national treasures, master artisans whose skills are officially recognized and protected by the Japanese government. These weren't ordinary kimonos, but rather works of art that required years to complete using techniques passed down through generations. The collection included 5 kimonos, each representing a different season and crafted using silk threads dyed with natural materials found only in specific regions of Japan. The spring kimono featured cherry blossoms embroidered with silver thread, while the autumn piece showcased maple leaves created with gold leaf applied by hand. Each kimono was valued at over £200,000, making the complete collection worth more than £1 million. What made this gift particularly meaningful was the cultural education that accompanied it. The Japanese government arranged for Catherine to receive private lessons from a kimono master who traveled to London specifically to teach her the proper way to wear and care for these precious garments. The lessons became a deeply moving cultural exchange, with Catherine developing a profound appreciation for Japanese artistic traditions. The kimonos came with their own custom storage system, a series of specially designed boxes made from Japanese cedar and lined with silk that had been blessed at ancient temples. Each box included detailed instructions written in both Japanese and English, explaining the symbolism behind every design element and the proper occasions for wearing each piece. Catherine wore one of the kimonos during an official state visit to Japan, creating a diplomatic sensation. Japanese media praised her respect for their culture, while British photographers captured stunning images of the princess gracefully navigating the complex process of wearing traditional Japanese formal wear. The gesture strengthened cultural ties between the two nations and demonstrated Catherine's commitment to honoring international traditions. But perhaps the most technically impressive gift came from Switzerland's most exclusive watchmaker, who created a one-of-a-kind timepiece specifically for Catherine. This wasn't merely an expensive watch, but rather a mechanical marvel that displayed phases of the moon, tracked the birthdays of all royal family members, and chimed with melodies composed specifically for the royal family. The watchmaker spent 3 years developing this unique timepiece, creating new mechanical movements that had never been attempted before. The watch face, made from a single piece of blue sapphire, displayed time in both standard format and astronomical calculations that showed the exact position of celestial bodies at any moment. Most remarkably, the watch included a secret compartment that could only be opened by performing a specific sequence of crown adjustments. Inside this compartment was a tiny portrait of Princess Diana, painted on ivory by a master miniaturist. This hidden feature was the watchmaker's way of ensuring that Diana's memory would always be close to Catherine's heart. The watch, valued at over £800,000, came with a lifetime guarantee not just for repairs but for updates to its astronomical calculations as scientific understanding evolved. The watchmaker also provided detailed documentation explaining every mechanical function, written in a leather-bound book that was itself a work of art. The art world continued to honor Catherine with extraordinary pieces. The Louvre Museum in Paris commissioned a modern interpretation of classical royal portraiture specifically for her. This wasn't a traditional painting, but rather an innovative mixed-media artwork that combined oil painting, photography, and digital enhancement to create a portrait that captured both historical gravitas and contemporary relevance. The artist spent months studying historical royal portraits to understand the symbolic elements that conveyed power, grace, and authority. The final piece incorporated traditional elements like ermine and royal regalia while adding modern touches that reflected Catherine's role as a 21st-century royal. The portrait was created using experimental techniques that allowed certain elements to change subtly depending on viewing angle and lighting conditions. From one perspective, Catherine appeared in traditional royal dress, while from another angle, contemporary clothing became visible, symbolizing her ability to bridge historical tradition with modern expectations. This artistic masterpiece was valued at £350,000 and came with extensive documentation explaining the symbolism and technique behind every element. The Louvre planned to display the portrait in a special exhibition about the evolution of royal imagery before permanently gifting it to the British Royal Collection. The luxury travel industry also wanted to honor Catherine with unforgettable experiences. A consortium of high-end travel companies collaborated to gift her family a private jet configured specifically for royal travel, complete with sleeping quarters, office space, and entertainment areas designed for children. This wasn't a standard private jet with royal modifications, but rather an aircraft designed from scratch to meet the unique needs of a royal family with young children. The plane included a secure communication system that allowed Catherine to maintain contact with royal duties while traveling, as well as educational areas where the children could continue their studies during flights. The jet's interior was crafted by the same artisans who created interiors for luxury yachts, using materials sourced from around the world. English oak paneling was combined with Italian leather and French silk to create an environment that was both comfortable and appropriately regal. Most impressive was the aircraft's entertainment system, which included interactive educational programs specifically designed for royal children. The system could display maps showing the history and geography of destinations, virtual museum tours, and language learning programs appropriate for young travelers. The entire project, including the aircraft purchase and custom modifications, was valued at over £15 million. The travel consortium viewed this not just as a gift but as an investment in promoting British tourism and cultural exchange around the world. The fashion industry reached new heights of creativity with gifts designed to support Catherine's expanding public role. A group of British designers created a modular wardrobe system that allowed her to adapt her appearance for different types of royal engagements without requiring dozens of separate outfits. This innovative approach used interchangeable components, skirts, jackets, blouses, and accessories that could be combined in hundreds of different ways. Each piece was crafted to the highest couture standards while incorporating practical features like hidden pockets for security devices and quick-change elements for busy schedules. The wardrobe included pieces appropriate for every type of royal function, from garden parties to state dinners to charitable visits. Designers had studied Catherine's schedule patterns and created combinations that would work for multi-event days when she might need to transition from casual to formal appearances quickly. The complete wardrobe system represented over 200 individual pieces valued at more than £400,000. But its true value lay in solving practical challenges faced by someone whose appearance was constantly scrutinized while allowing for personal expression within royal protocol. The technology sector continued to innovate with gifts that enhanced Catherine's ability to fulfill her royal duties. A leading software company developed a custom artificial intelligence system designed to help her manage the enormous volume of correspondence she received from the public. This AI system could read and categorize thousands of letters and emails, identifying those requiring personal responses, flagging important issues that needed attention, and even drafting initial response templates while maintaining the personal touch that Catherine was known for. The system was designed with complete security and privacy protections, ensuring that all communications remained confidential while helping Catherine stay connected with people who reached out to her. The AI could also analyze patterns in correspondence to help identify social issues that might benefit from royal attention. The development of this system required 2 years of work by top programmers and cost over £1 million to create. But it enabled Catherine to personally respond to far more correspondence than would otherwise be possible, strengthening her connection with the public and improving her effectiveness as a royal representative. The international luxury jewelry market continued to create spectacular pieces for Catherine's collection. The Crown Prince of Saudi Arabia commissioned a necklace that combined traditional Arabic jewelry-making techniques with contemporary design sensibilities, creating something entirely new in the world of royal jewelry. The necklace featured graduated diamonds arranged in patterns inspired by Islamic geometric designs, with each stone perfectly calibrated to create optical illusions of depth and movement. The centerpiece was a rare blue diamond that had been specially cut to maximize its natural brilliance while maintaining the proportions necessary for the overall design. Master craftsmen worked for over a year to complete this piece, using techniques that required specialized tools created specifically for this project. The necklace was designed to be worn multiple ways, as a single long strand, doubled for a layered effect, or with the centerpiece removed to create a simpler everyday piece. The complete necklace was valued at over £2.5 million, making it one of the most expensive pieces in Catherine's collection. But beyond its monetary value, the necklace represented a cultural bridge between British and Arabic artistic traditions, symbolizing the diplomatic importance of royal relationships. The culinary world also wanted to contribute to Catherine's growing collection of extraordinary gifts. A consortium of Michelin-starred chefs collaborated to create a custom cookbook featuring recipes specifically designed for royal entertaining, complete with scaled versions for intimate family dinners and large state functions. This wasn't an ordinary cookbook, but rather a culinary encyclopedia that included historical context for traditional royal dishes, modern interpretations of classic recipes, and entirely new creations designed to showcase the best of British cuisine to international guests. The cookbook was hand-bound in leather and included original watercolor illustrations of each dish created by food artists specifically for this project. Each recipe was tested extensively to ensure it could be prepared reliably by royal chefs, while maintaining the highest standards of presentation and flavor. The cookbook project took 3 years to complete and included input from nutritionists, food historians, and protocol experts to ensure that every recipe was appropriate for royal entertaining while accommodating various dietary requirements and cultural sensitivities that might arise during international visits. The final chapter of Catherine's remarkable gift collection represents the culmination of her transformation from a university student to one of the world's most influential women. As her role evolved and her children grew, the presents she received reflected not only her status but also the deep respect and affection she had earned from people around the globe. One of the most extraordinary gifts arrived in 2021 from an entirely unexpected source, a group of former NASA engineers who had formed a private space technology company. These brilliant minds collaborated to create something unprecedented, a custom-designed star map showing the exact configuration of the night sky at the moment each of her children was born, crafted from meteorite fragments and precious metals. The star map wasn't simply decorative. It was a functional astronomical instrument that could predict celestial events for the next 1,000 years. Each star was represented by a tiny diamond or sapphire, positioned with mathematical precision on a base made from meteorite metal that had traveled billions of miles through space before reaching Earth. The engineers spent 4 years developing the technology to create this piece, inventing new techniques for working with meteorite materials and developing computer programs to calculate stellar positions with unprecedented accuracy. The star map could show not just current star positions, but also how the night sky would appear from any location on Earth at any point in the future. This scientific marvel was valued at over £1.2 million, but its true worth lay in representing humanity's greatest achievements in space exploration and astronomical understanding. Catherine was deeply moved by the gift, understanding that it connected her family to the cosmos in a way that no earthly treasure could match. The map came with detailed documentation explaining the source of each meteorite fragment and the mathematical principles used in its construction. The engineers also provided ongoing support, promising to update the calculations as astronomical science advanced and to maintain the instrument throughout Catherine's lifetime. But perhaps the most emotionally powerful gift came from an unexpected collaboration between British school children and master craftspeople. Over 3,000 children from schools across the United Kingdom contributed to creating a massive tapestry that told the story of British history from ancient times through Catherine's era. Each child created a small section of the tapestry, working with local artists and craftspeople to ensure their contributions met professional standards. The sections were then assembled by master weavers who seamlessly integrated thousands of individual pieces into a cohesive narrative spanning several centuries. The tapestry, measuring 20 feet by 30 feet, required 5 years to complete and involved coordination between hundreds of schools, dozens of professional artists, and master craftspeople whose families had been creating textiles for generations. Each section was photographed and documented, creating a permanent record of every child's contribution. When completed, the tapestry was valued at over £500,000, but its emotional worth was immeasurable. For Catherine, it represented the hopes and dreams of future generations who would grow up during her time as princess and eventual queen. The project also created lasting bonds between schools and communities across Britain. The technology industry continued to push boundaries in creating gifts that would enhance Catherine's ability to serve the public. A consortium of British tech companies developed an augmented reality system that could help her learn about any location she was visiting within seconds, providing historical context, cultural information, and practical details that would help her connect more meaningfully with people she met. This system used advanced artificial intelligence and real-time data processing to create personalized briefings delivered through nearly invisible devices that could be worn discreetly during public appearances. The technology could recognize faces, translate languages, and provide cultural context that would help Catherine navigate complex social situations with confidence. The development team spent years ensuring the system was completely secure and couldn't be hacked or intercepted by hostile forces. The final product represented breakthrough achievements in wearable technology, artificial intelligence, and security protocols that were years ahead of anything available commercially. The system was valued at over £3 million, but its real value lay in enabling Catherine to connect more authentically with people from diverse backgrounds and cultures. The technology helped her have more meaningful conversations and better understand the communities she was visiting, making her public appearances more effective and personally satisfying. The international art community collaborated on perhaps the most ambitious gift ever created for a member of the royal family. 50 of the world's most renowned artists worked together to create a series of paintings that reimagined classic fairy tales with Catherine and her children as characters, combining traditional artistic techniques with contemporary themes. Each painting was a masterpiece in its own right, created using techniques specific to different artistic traditions from around the world. The collection included pieces done in styles ranging from Renaissance portraiture to Japanese woodblock printing to contemporary digital art, all unified by their shared theme and extraordinary quality. The artists donated their time and expertise, viewing the project as a celebration of imagination, family, and the power of storytelling to bring people together across cultural boundaries. Each piece included hidden symbols and references that would reveal new meanings as Catherine's children grew older and developed their own understanding of art and literature. The complete collection was valued at over £10 million, making it one of the most valuable artistic gifts ever presented to royalty. But, beyond its monetary worth, the collection represented a global artistic community's recognition of Catherine's positive influence on culture and society. The fashion industry reached its creative peak with a final extraordinary gift, a collection of 25 couture gowns created specifically for Catherine's future coronation as queen. These weren't ordinary formal dresses, but rather historical documents crafted in fabric, each one designed to represent different aspects of British culture and heritage. Master designers from the most prestigious fashion houses worked in secret for 3 years, creating gowns that incorporated traditional British textile techniques with innovative modern materials. Each dress told a different story about British history, culture, or values, using embroidery, beadwork, and fabric manipulation to create wearable art. The collection included gowns inspired by everything from ancient Celtic designs to modern British architecture, from the gardens of English country estates to the cutting-edge science being conducted in British universities. Each piece required hundreds of hours of handwork by the most skilled craftspeople in the fashion industry. The complete collection was valued at over £2 million, but its significance extended far beyond monetary worth. These gowns would serve as Catherine's wardrobe for the most important moments of her future reign, ensuring that she could represent British excellence and creativity on the world stage. The international diplomatic community also contributed to Catherine's collection through a unique collaborative gift. Ambassadors from 50 different countries worked together to commission a jewelry collection that celebrated the diversity and beauty of global cultures while maintaining unified aesthetic principles. Each piece in the collection incorporated traditional elements from different cultures, gems, metals, and design motifs that held special significance in various traditions around the world. Master jewelers worked with cultural experts to ensure that every element was used respectfully and appropriately, creating pieces that honored global diversity while maintaining elegant sophistication. The collection included earrings, bracelets, necklaces, and rings that could be worn individually or combined to create stunning ensembles appropriate for international diplomatic events. Each piece came with detailed documentation explaining its cultural significance and the stories behind the traditional elements it incorporated. The diplomatic jewelry collection was valued at over £1.5 million, but its true worth lay in symbolizing the international community's respect for Catherine's role as a bridge between cultures and nations. Wearing these pieces at diplomatic events would demonstrate her appreciation for global diversity and her commitment to fostering international understanding. The scientific community made its own remarkable contribution to Catherine's collection by creating a living gift that would last for generations. A team of botanists and horticulturists developed several new varieties of roses specifically bred to honor Catherine and her children, combining traditional British garden roses with innovative growing techniques. These new rose varieties were designed to bloom throughout the year, providing constant beauty while requiring minimal maintenance. Each variety was named after members of Catherine's family and bred to embody characteristics associated with their personalities: strength, beauty, resilience, and grace. The roses were planted in a special garden at Kensington Palace, creating a living memorial that would grow and evolve over the years. The botanists also provided seedlings that could be shared with public gardens around the world, ensuring that Catherine's roses would bloom in communities everywhere. The development of these new rose varieties took 7 years of careful breeding and cost over £300,000 to complete. But the gift was designed to appreciate in value over time, as the roses spread to gardens worldwide and became part of the permanent botanical heritage associated with Catherine's era. As Catherine reflected on this incredible collection of gifts accumulated over more than a decade of royal life, she understood that each present represented more than material wealth or artistic achievement. These gifts told the story of her journey from a young woman in love to a global icon, from a university student to a future queen. Every diamond and sapphire, every custom creation and technological marvel, every artistic masterpiece and living memorial represented someone's faith in her ability to use her position for the betterment of humanity. The gifts weren't just treasures to be admired, but tools and symbols that would help her serve effectively throughout her lifetime. The combined value of Catherine's gift collection exceeded £50 million, making her the recipient of one of the most valuable assemblages of presents ever given to any individual. But the true measure of these gifts wasn't their monetary worth, but rather what they represented: a world's recognition of character, dedication, and the promise of devoted service to others. Each time Catherine wore one of these precious pieces or used one of these thoughtful gifts, she carried with her the hopes and dreams of everyone who had contributed to her collection. From master craftspeople who spent years perfecting their creations to world leaders who carefully selected symbolic presents, from children who contributed stitches to a tapestry to engineers who reached for the stars, all had invested part of themselves in Catherine's future. These gifts would serve as constant reminders of the trust placed in her and the expectations she carried as she prepared for her ultimate role as queen. They represented not just the generosity of donors, but the faith of a world watching her journey with hope and admiration, confident that she would use every blessing received in service of the greater good.